Patrick.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to A Song at Tara. How's everyone been doing?
Pretty okay, sort of ish. Possibly, perhaps a little bit, maybe.
Cool.
I'm fine. I met with a kitten, so I'm fine.
Doesn't take much to please him.
Well, if you don't have that high standards, I guess you can live a happier life in that regard.
It's a kitten! There's nothing higher than that.
Yes, a dog.
No.
High fives.
Dog.
Doggy. Woof woof.
Dog.
Anyway,
yes.
So we're gonna do a recap. I guess we should talk about what happened last time and what we're going to do now.
Indeed.
Also, we may have a little bit of noise on the line because people are doing stuff and basically catching their everyday lives up with the session. Also, speaking of that, we're one player down for this recap, so that's just the thing that had to happen today. It's fine. Hopefully, she'll join us later. All right. So, thoughts? Anyone?
Well, you said it yourself. Go ahead and recap.
Well, in a nutshell, what happened last time was we were charged with talking to the she, not the she, the Fae. And before we went to their court to talk to them, we were to rendezvous with Speaks to She, one of our fellow Garu. However, his apartment he was home, I guess. So we arrived at his apartment, and instead of finding Speaks to She, we found 4 of our septmates dead, him among them. And the lone survivor, Peacenik, just had enough breath left in him to warn us that this had been that the Black Spiral dancers had returned to Dublin, and we basically hurried back to the Sept to warn people that this was a thing and that we had lost 4. But in the Sept we found our role models and our elders right about to tear each other's throats out because, yay, the leadership waves flag. But just before they could do that, Bleeding Paws taunted the shit out of everyone present and made a mad dash out of Dublin to Tara, where everyone was surprised to find out that the entire Sept at Tara was gone. Not just the werewolves, but like the protective spells and the spirits and everything was just gone. So Tara was like completely unprotected. The local Fine decided to stick around and protect Tara, while the rest of us, 2 Fine accepted, those being Bleeding Paws and Sleeps and Fields, one of our players, returned back to St. Stephen's Green with the rest of the group. And when we returned, we were basically like, it was nothing new was the price. Someone is making a lot of noise. Stop that. Thank you. So when we returned to the Green, the leadership basically told us nothing had changed. We were still supposed to go out and talk to the local changelings. However, this time we would not have. We would do so without training wheels because they didn't have anyone to send with us. So we went and spoke to the Fae. We spoke to the Queen of the Fae in Dublin, who were distraught to learn. She seemed distraught. She claimed to be distraught to hear of the death of Speaks to She, and learning that the Tara Sept was the Tara Cairn was unprotected. She agreed to send some of her warriors to protect it, or to assist in protecting it at least. And then she kind of gave us her blessing in the sense that we were free to call on her for help in finding the murderers of this, the murderers of our kin. I think she actually tasked us with doing so. I seem to recall some royal jargon going on in that regard. I don't remember exactly. Does anyone remember? Did she just kind of approve of our task, or did she task us with doing stuff about it?
She both approved of us and hoped we would do it.
And provided us with more means to do it.
Yeah.
Okay.
The ones who, strictly speaking, did charge you with it was Ross and Kat.
That's right. Yeah, Kat's the new Cairn head, because that's gonna go well. Now, basically, we're after our meeting at the Bleeding Horse. We're out on the streets of Dublin and ready and able to go and track down the bastards who killed our kin. And I think the general consensus last time was that we were supposed to go and sniff around the apartment, look for clues that we might have missed in our emotionally compromised initial arrival.
Which is actually a kind of good idea. So yes.
Thereabout, yes.
So, anyone have any thoughts regarding last session? Anything they want to bring up, or something that perhaps they didn't feel like they were able to get across, but that is still very real for their characters? I know many of you had many of the characters had emotional investment in some of the ones found dead.
Mm.
Yeah, let's go kill them, everyone.
I take that as a roaring no.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good. Well,
Let's kill the bastards and kill them until they're dead.
damn right. It's time to become the hunter.
Yes.
Which is nice.
Let's go kill them until they're dead.
Also, finding these blokes who took the lives of our brethren and sister.
Brethren and sisterin.
Yeah, doing that has been named our rite of passage. So this is what we're doing to earn our place in the sept, as it were.
Yes.
But that's about it, as far as I'm aware.
I think that's pretty much it. I'm trying to remember if there was anything else going on. Oh yes, there's one little thing. One little thing. Yes, if I could. One little thing, yeah. No, there's one little thing, namely that you got the second half of, or at least, I wouldn't say the second half, but at least another part of Raven's
Prophecy?
prophecy, indeed.
Right. That's correct. I did actually forget that.
Quite important,
We
obviously.
got it as we were running everything our legs could carry us.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know, we weren't running away, we were just advancing in another direction.
Yes.
So in a nutshell, another part of Raven's prophecy, if not the last part, then another part, got latched on to the old one, and its meaning has been expounded on. I suppose that's gonna come up eventually. So if you want to know right now what exactly the wording of that prophecy was, go back and rewatch the old videos.
Yes.
But if you are patient enough to wait for it, it's probably gonna come up on its own. So just strap in and wait for the inevitable.
Yes.
Okay, so we're all present and accounted for now. Let's play some Song at Tara, shall we?
Please, let's do. And no more mention of sperm plushies after this.
Audience, don't ask. Just don't.
If you didn't want the audience to ask, this shouldn't have been mentioned in the first place.
Yeah.
Just, okay, so sperm plushies, everyone. Enjoy.
Oh my goodness, that's the silliest thing ever invented. Alright, guys.
Is that a challenge for us to find sillier things?
No!
Yes.
No, I have to agree with I have to agree.
I'm hearing
with our
mixed
resident Englishman.
opinions.
Yes, I'm the GM in this case, or the storyteller as it may be. I am saying no. Sillier things will cost XP. Nope, stop it. This is silly. Anyway, you are outside the Bleeding Horse. You're all a bit woozy because you've just sort of come out of your first encounter with the Fae. You're still enchanted. The world still looks a bit funky, to put it mildly.
Well, I guess just going, like, leaving the Bleeding Horse and heading back towards apartment.
Yes.
On foot. Because the car was stolen.
Yeah, plus it's like, I don't know,
It's 2 streets down.
300 yards or something. It's not very far at all. So, yeah, okay. You head back to Odd's apartment. And like Mirren said she would, there are no Garda. However, there is already a police line, but nobody's guarding it. They're all gone.
It's interesting.
Any civvy crowd?
None. You are entirely alone with the place.
Mm-hmm.
Have the police dragged the corpses off?
Nope, not yet.
Well, in that case, we should probably actually steal the corpses for great justice and for traditional funerary rites.
Yeah. I'm assuming that then there's nothing we could necessarily learn from them otherwise where they are.
Well, we can at least get to the conclusion that Trisha was probably the first thing they saw.
Mm.
Yeah.
Because the foot is through the freaking door.
Whatever happened is probably, in all likelihood, like, whatever pack of villains were needed to do this. All of them probably jumped Trisha, who was standing guard downstairs, and having killed off the Arun, they then proceeded to wipe out the 2 Thurges and the Philodox.
Some of you have common sense, as I recall.
Yes. I activate it.
That is actually a very plausible, theory that Daniel just came up with. There is just one little word about the whole thing. Trisha was pretty much on the outside of Garou society in general. The only people that she had any interaction with at all on any kind of regular basis were the other Bone Gnawers, and the only person she didn't basically go off on tirades about constantly was Joseph. Yep. She suffered from Tourette's syndrome and therefore would burst out with horrible slander and curses and that sort of thing all the time. She was very unnerving to be in the company of, and consequently she stuck to herself. She was not known to have any kind of particular relationship with any of the 3 men upstairs.
So what does that suggest?
That's a good question.
Great, that's it.
It probably suggests that that more skullduggery has been going on. I mean, we already know that there were faction play going on, and Kat had recruited someone to think like she did and support her. Also, even people outside her own tribe. There's probably even more stuff going on behind the scenes that we have no clue about because we're just fresh new greenhorns. So even though these 4 people weren't a known pack, they might be associates in some other regard.
At any rate, Taryn starts checking the place.
Yeah,
Seems like a good idea.
Yeah. What you learn from this is that whatever happened here, it's quite strange. There are several things to bear in mind. First and foremost, the door to Odd's apartment is splintered, but it's splintered from the inside out.
Huh.
But there were no one in the hallway.
No.
I mean, on the inside of the door, they were all in the living room.
Yes.
Well, that makes sense then. It's
Are there blood on the inside?
No, that there isn't. Well, yes, there are bloody footprints, but but there were bloody footprints all the way up the stairs from where you found Tricia down in the hall. But as you get up past the first landing and you turn around to go up to the second landing, and which is then the first floor, you find splinters of the door on the second landing and having tumbled down the stairs. There is no wood from the door in the actual apartment, so whatever blew the door open, blew it open from the inside.
That's
yeah.
thinking.
The door also opens into the apartment, which is why it wasn't simply blown off its hinges, it was actually smashed.
In that case, it's probably a case of someone having waited here for them to return.
That is a plausible explanation.
Is the windows open?
Nope. No, the windows are in fact not open.
They've had skill enough to not cause any alarm. If they were
Actually, wait a second. Yes, one of the windows is open, but that was because Aaron went over and howled out into the night.
But he didn't do that.
Yeah,
Yeah, he did, didn't he?
I think I did.
Yeah, you did.
I thought we stopped that because someone got the idea that we should probably just leave.
No,
Because the Raven started talking to us.
No, this
No,
I called. I remember it. I did go out. I did make a howl that war had happened.
Yes.
And then after that, someone found Nick still alive.
Yes.
All right.
Exactly. Yeah, that was what happened.
So, I don't know how much we know of Black Spiral Dancers.
Almost nothing. You've heard that they are a tribe of Garou that went as bad can get. That fell to the worm. The entire tribe fell to the worm. You've also been told several times the Garou equivalent of "We will talk about this when you grow up."
Ah. Yeah, but the reason I'm asking is, does waiting in the apartment, does that fit their MO? From what we know.
You don't know enough about them to know if that would fit their particular or not. But it certainly seems like that is a possibility because whatever has happened here, whoever busted the door did so from the inside. Also, what you learn, and this might support that, is the fact that Odd looks like he's been thrown across the coffee table and halfway across his own couch. Nick is behind, or he died behind the couch, but Michael was still sitting at the table. He hadn't even gotten up.
Yeah, sounds about right.
He was literally slumped over the table.
Okay.
Thanks.
Well, I mean, Aaron has no idea what to do here. He's basically, he's accepting that we should check this place for clues. Come on, gang. Come on, Scooby. So he just walks around looking around the apartment, not knowing what to look for. I don't know if you want investigation rolls to see what we uncover.
If you have investigation, it certainly wouldn't hurt.
I have flat 1 dot in perception and none in investigation, which is why I'm
That
making
means you can't roll.
Investigation is
It's a knowledge.
It's a knowledge. You can't roll those untrained.
No, but I can roll perception.
Shiva has 1 dot in investigation.
Yep,
So
go ahead.
does Fenna.
Yep, go right ahead.
And
So
it
it's
was
perception plus...
Yes, perception plus investigation.
What's the difficulty?
6.
6. Okay.
Where's the roly thingy?
1 success.
Woo!
Oh, let's see if that worked.
-1 success.
Alright,
botched
so that's a botch.
So what's the difficulty? Is that 6?
Yeah.
Okay. 3 success.
Yay!
Wow.
Holy shit.
Woohoo!
Who would have thought Connell would have done that?
Also, you are actually you're completely right there, Hilla, about Corporalia is the one that makes people swear. She did have both.
Well, Corporalia, or rather, you usually have turrets when you have Corporalia. It's just technicalities.
I know,
but
but
say it out loud.
No, but you do have a good point, and it is important that yes, I got my wires crossed there. You are completely right. Anyway, so we have one success on for Fenna and Connell. Did you have investigation as well?
Yep. 2 dots.
2 dots, excellent.
Yeah,
and Aaron, you just rolled basic.
Just roll my attribute, yeah.
Yeah, you just rolled the attribute, indeed.
And
I budged.
Shiva steps in something important and we lose a piece of evidence or something.
Daniel,
What's
here's the
up?
question.
What's up?
Unless Aaron is a jack of all trades, you can't roll a knowledge untrained.
No, I don't. I'm not. I'm rolling perception.
Oh, perception, okay.
Yeah. Well, in that case, I would say that the difficulty for rolling just on pure perception would be higher. That would be.
You rolled a
What
9.
do you want to increase it to? Because
8.
I rolled a 9.
Yeah, you still have 1, but yeah. That would be the.
Wow.
Anyway.
All my freaking rolls are gone.
Well, what most of you realize is what you've already been told. Shiva doesn't actually notice most of it because, quite frankly, the whole horror of the scene kind of overwhelms her all over again. However, Connell, you do notice something.
Mm-hmm.
The guys seem to have been sitting here, basically sharing a brew before you guys arrived. And there are, in fact, 3 coffee mugs out on the tables. There's also a beer bottle.
Connell gestures toward the table. So, 3 coffee mugs, 1 beer bottle. That seems odd.
Maybe they were meeting with someone.
Who?
Anyone? Kinfolk? Someone who betrayed them?
Is the beer bottle open?
Yes, it is.
Is it empty, full, half full?
It's 3/4 empty.
Okay.
Connell grabs the beer bottle and holds it up in front of Fenna's nose. Smell it.
You do realize by sense of smell it's the same as yours, right?
How do I know? You're the one who always sniffs people.
That's just it anyway.
Mm-hmm. Well, it smells of Guinness.
Finish rocks.
What is it?
It's Guinness.
I like Guinness.
It says on the label too.
Oh. You're right.
So much for the high perception.
Yeah.
Funny.
Like a muffled groan escapes.
Well, it'd be sad for all this beer to go to waste, Connell says, and lifts it to his mouth to drink it.
You'd never get hired by the police, you know that.
Why not?
Tampering with evidence, quite flagrantly for a start.
It's fine. Us stealing the corpses back is probably going to constitute tampering with evidence as well.
Oh, absolutely.
Does Finds a Way have a cup or something at the table that's been knocked over or something?
Yes, he does.
So all the werewolves were drinking coffee for some reason, even though they usually drink whiskey. And someone was drinking beer.
Let's be honest here. These 3 in particular are pretty down-to-earth kind of guys.
Yeah.
Even so, can you lace coffee with something?
Yeah, but you'd have to lace it with something pretty darn powerful for it even to touch us.
Silver?
And for it to survive the heat of the coffee, too.
I'm thinking silver.
Connell looks nervously at the beer bottle he's holding. Lace? With something?
Yeah, you might have just, drunk a mouthful of little tiny silver flecks that are gonna lodge themselves in your digestive tract and horribly mutilate you until you die.
No, I'm still standing, so...
Yeah, I saw.
I'm pretty sure I did.
Of course, it's also likely that the missing person drank the beer and therefore did not lace themselves. If it's even...
Karen takes a minute and thinks back on the prophecy. She who is now hiding. I bet it was a she.
You might be right. It could be that they were meeting with someone before we were supposed to meet up at the Bleeding Horse.
Probably.
Anyway, Joan, since we've made checks for our investigation of this particular scene,
Yes?
I'm assuming we don't find anything else other than what has been mentioned.
No, you don't. However, you suddenly feel it suddenly gets very cold very suddenly.
I believe I know this feeling. Having been haunted once before. Is it the same kind of feeling?
How do you mean?
As when I was buried alive by a little eyeless ghost girl.
Oh, no, not the same. Not the same.
Then I don't know that feeling.
This is not a hallucination sort of thing. You're all fully aware. You're awake. You are conscious of your surroundings. You don't have a sensation of suddenly being drawn into the ground or anything of the sort. It's just getting very cold.
Are we talking like an inexplicable cold? Like that's just, we can feel it, but it's not actually present? Or are we talking like, rime on the beer bottle?
We're talking rime on the beer bottle.
Run! It's the Dementors!
In fact, we are talking that the beer in the beer bottle starts to get sluggish.
Wow.
Terrence starts looking around.
Oh, that's not good.
Does it seem like it's coming from somewhere in particular?
It's coming from the hallway out near the door.
Terran goes to look there.
I follow closely after.
Yeah.
You turn the corner to look into the hallway and you see exactly this.
Oh.
Jesus wept!
What is that?
10:14.
The last what?
Exactly.
The last man to survive. Oh, well, he didn't survive. He was the last man to die.
Yeah, I think Aaron just goes into predator vision and prepares to horribly mangle whatever's in the hallway if it makes even a single aggressive move towards his pack.
It raises a bony hand, but not in a sort of a hostile way or anything. But there's this claw-like appendage that comes up in a sort of a sweeping motion in front of itself, as if it's gesturing towards the whole apartment, the whole flat behind you, and it says a word that none of you have the faintest idea what means.
Is it a word spoken in a language we recognize? Like, is this Irish?
It sounds like Irish, but it sounds like a very, 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 very weird accent.
Cool.
I focus hard on it and possibly try to memorize whatever it's saying.
Yeah.
Taryn, what is this? What are we looking at?
She studies it for a while. tilts her head, studies it again. I'd say some kind of ghost, seeing the cold stuff.
Is it here to be friendly, or is it here to be creepy and annoying and needs to piss off?
He doesn't seem hostile.
It doesn't. It repeats the word again. It sounds, not surprisingly considering how it looks, it sounds like a voice that comes from the other side of the grave. And it wheezes this one word, Dunwaru. Dunwaru.
I think just because it sounds similar, Shiva speaks to it in Irish Gaelic.
Yes.
And just asks it, or tells it she can't understand what it's saying.
It turns its head to look at her and sort of tilts this cowled head slightly as it looks at her. Then shakes its head and proceeds to walk into the apartment, which incidentally includes walking straight through.
At least Taryn, because she's standing in the doorway.
Yeah. It literally walks through Taryn. Taryn, you have a feeling like you've just spent the last hour outside in a polar evening, a polar night.
Yikes.
She
stands still for a second, then she shudders.
That was the coldest you've probably ever been in your life.
Joan.
Yes?
Since it sounds similar, is there a word in Irish that this word sounds similar to?
Yes. It sounds similar to the Irish word for murder.
We can hereby conclude that he didn't want to kill me because he kills with a touch.
Shiva mentions that, not particularly loud, just enough for the pack to hear.
Yes, just murder. Turns around, shivering slightly.
As you turn around, you realize that there are now two of them in the apartment. The second one having just appeared right behind all of you.
That was even closer.
Does it seem hostile?
No, they don't.
Then Taryn goes in and watches what they're doing.
Yeah.
Like, seeing what they're trying to get out of this.
They seem to be searching for something or someone.
Who are you looking for?
Shiva repeats Taryn's question in Irish Gaelic.
The second one.
The
You mean the first?
Yes. Actually, it turns its head towards Taryn. We are looking for Mcalpin. He was here.
Mcalpin?
Kenneth Mcalpin was here.
Oh.
He must die.
Kenneth. Det er mig, der siger, det er ikke hende.
Shiva writes the name down on her phone. On a note, or whatever. And then she asks, did he do it? Did he do this?
Tell him when you find him that his daughter seeks his life.
Who is his daughter?
The last turns its cowled head and looks at all of you again, and then just in a very irritated motion, it just gestures at the whole room and then repeats again this one word, Dunwara, and then they both just become smoke and vanish.
Yep, same here.
That seemed entirely unhelpful. Let's get them out of here.
Kenneth Mcalpin.
Well, they gave us a clue.
Aaron looks at you skeptically.
Dead.
Like a raised eyebrow as if, you sure about that?
Shiva looks at him and says, well, werewolves and ghosts, I don't know.
If Kenneth Mcalpin has been here, then maybe it's the daughter who is now hiding.
Who the fuck is Kenneth Mcalpin?
I haven't met him yet, but I'm pretty sure we will.
Well, if he's anything to do with this, then you're goddamn right, we will meet him. Or he'll meet us at any rate. Alright, let's get out of here.
First names. She looks at the ghosts, asking their names.
Didn't the ghost leave?
Yeah, the ghost just vanished.
She didn't notice before now. Oh,
They
how rude!
turned into smoke and dissolved and vanished.
She looks up, so what's your name? How rude!
How
Just
rude.
left! Damn it. Well.
Before we leave, I need to do something stupid.
Yes?
Shiva says that out loud.
Oh, okay.
I think, I mean, we've known each other for around 2 or almost 3 years. I think Aaron just nods at you. Yes, yeah, sure.
She then strips down to her underwear with a nod to Fenna before she changes into, what's it called, Glabro?
Yes.
She's, stirs.
Why she
one of...
was wearing some of Finna's dedicated clothes. Why did she strip down?
Oh, I didn't know it was dedicated.
Oh, it was. It was.
In that case, she'll have just changed.
Yeah, yes.
And she stirs, the coffee,
Yep.
before she sticks her pinky finger in it, just to test if it's filled with silver.
It's not.
Well, since she nodded to Finna, I guess Finna changes to Glabro as well.
It's not. There's nothing in there except coffee, apparently.
She tries all 3, just in case.
Yep, there's nothing.
Picked corpses.
Nothing bad about the coffee at all. It's just cold coffee.
They died from the wounds, not something else.
She changes back and shrugs. Okay, I'm ready to leave.
Do we
Okay,
do
so-
something?
Finna changes back to. I have no idea what to look for.
What do you mean, what to look for?
I mean, what else to look for here to figure out what happened?
Well, basically, we've emptied the place out, right?
I guess at least we have a name.
Yeah.
Well, Tina's gonna do what she does best. She takes her phone and then she goes computer maniac to find out who the hell Kenneth Mcalpin is.
And meanwhile, the rest of us should kind of try and figure out how we get 4 corpses to St. Stephen's Green unnoticed.
Shiva immediately suggests Umbra.
Have you ever tried carrying a dead one in there?
Nope.
Okay. Taran, is that gonna be okay?
Well, I guess. Joseph took me to the Umbra without me having to go through on my own.
Were you dead?
Nope.
Okay.
Well,
But you can take things in there too. I
Yeah.
guess they count as kind of an object now. even though
Aaron looks
it's a
offended.
person.
that doesn't register to him.
She also looks like, even though it sounds really, really horrible, but the spirits are gone, right?
I don't think the gauntlet cares whether they were alive at one point or not, Aaron.
Well, I don't know. I've only ever been able to cross over with what I'm wearing. I've never been able to, bring a lamppost along, for instance, so... I mean, let's try it, he says. He picks up the nearest one. He picks up Ord, whatever. And he tries to step sideways.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
Just
we...
Do the noses check, I guess.
Yes, the gauntlet here is... gauntlet here is 5.
Okay.
Good, excellent.
I think AJ had a question for you, John,
Oh, sure.
in the chat.
Should I roll my? It's all right. You don't need to. Well, what I need to know is how do you spell it?
She tries all the variant ways of spelling those names.
Well-
She even looks up how to spell it in Irish.
Let me see how you begin by searching for it, and you can type it out.
Ugh. But I'm personally very shitty at spelling.
In random way number 1.
Yeah, but the reason why I'm asking is because it sounded to me like she had misheard the name.
What was the gauntlet rating?
5.
5.
Okay.
Shiva finds a way.
Yep.
If it's possible. And she had 3 successes, 2 of them being 10s.
I should probably ask, just because I guess it's relevant. Does Ord have a mirror in this apartment that we could step sideways through, or do I have to drop my shades?
No, he's got several things you can use to step through. Nothing else, you can use the mirror in his bathroom.
Cool.
Yeah. In case Taryn asks, Shiva wrote the name down, however she thought it was spelled.
Well, alright, let me see how you thought it was spelled.
I did write it in my bio, but it didn't save it.
I don't remember what the name was.
Mcalpin.
Kenneth Mcalpin.
Yep.
Alright.
Well, however you spell that in Irish, then. Because I don't know.
If you spell it in Irish, you get no hits.
Okay.
That's not a name that is found in Ireland at all. It might have to do with the fact that while you have a good number of Mac somethings in Ireland, it's both an Irish and a Scottish name. This one in particular might be Scottish.
And she just writes it as it sounds like.
Right. Well, there are obviously there are a number of Kenneth Mcalpins throughout Scotland. However, there are actually quite a lot of them, as you can see.
Is it intelligence she uses for this?
Yes, it is.
Then she has 7 dots.
Yeah.
And her difficulty is 2 lower no matter what it is.
Yes. You have, as I said, you find that it's a fairly popular name with anyone who's called Mcalpin as a family name.
Mm-hmm.
It seems to be unusually popular, in fact, so there's probably a reason for it. And you realize that Kenneth Mcalpin is actually the name of, he is the name of the man who, according to semi-myth and legend and semi-history, united Scotland for the first time as one kingdom.
Cool. Okay, so am I reading this right? Did Connell fail to enter?
Yes, he did.
Okay. Yep. 0 successes. I don't have the book open. I want to say he can't try again for an hour.
He can't.
Okay. In that case,
The rest of you, however, would still be able to transport the corpses, and he would simply have to just, go to the green the normal way.
Can we,
I'll do so then.
Can that transpire, or does something happen along the way?
No, that transpires.
Okay. I'm assuming that the St. Stephen's Green, the map seems to indicate that there's water there, so we can probably step sideways out into the green, right?
Yes.
Back into the real world. Cool.
Yes.
Unless
absolutely.
It's somehow spiritually warded from the Umbra or something.
No, you can get out. You're not, the green has guardians as well. You can't simply walk into the green, but they know you.
Cool.
I like how she's just standing there doing her searches while the others slowly fade into the fade, and then she's there.
I haven't said anything. Taliesin doesn't go into the Umbra. He stays behind. And when he sees that Connell's not going, he's going to follow him on foot.
Okay, sure. Cool.
Also, Taryn used the mirror on the bathroom.
Yep. Okay, you get out of the You get out of the Umbra back in the green, and the rest of you, well, the other two, walk there through Dublin's city or night streets. It's not, nothing happens. Nothing bad, nothing untoward. Nobody's stopping you to do anything weird or unpleasant.
Wonderful. Well, I guess I say, but I can only speak for myself, of course, but Aaron will be wanting to bring the corpse or corpses that he has to carry to whoever it would be appropriate to. I'm assuming we've learned enough about the interceptal positions and rituals to know where to dump these things off. Yes.
Basically, you bring them to the actual sept. It is open when you get there. The sept is you are let in as normal, but the somebody has performed the rite of the open sept. So basically, it's you have an active spirit life going on around you as you arrive.
In that case, I want to just make it clear that Aaron carries the corpses as if to venerate them as friends and family, not as sacks of potatoes.
Yes.
Yeah, I think Shiva will have probably changed form in order to do this.
Yeah.
Taran would have helped.
Well, you kind of probably, most of you would have to, because they're heavy otherwise, but yeah.
One thing though, so we show up here and two of us are not in the Umbra, and we don't know if it's because they got stuck on the spider's web or anything.
Nope.
Maybe we should check that.
I want to say we do know that they didn't get stuck, because if they got stuck, we would have noticed us being in the Umbra at the point where they tried to get through.
That's a good. That's a good point. You would have been able to see them. Yeah, sure.
Also,
otherwise, we could say that Taran. We could have sent Taran back. She has a relatively easy time slipping through.
Yeah, or you could simply ask Fenna to peek out of the Umbra.
Oh, yeah.
She's learned how to do it.
Yeah, Taran, because she's learned it too.
Well, actually, I think Fenna's just going to do that. Actually.
Yeah.
Just ask the other for a moment and then.
Yep. Well,
Taran stays guard so nothing bad happens to her.
Yep. Yeah. No problem. You peer out of the Umbra. Then it's not a big deal, and you don't need to roll for it in this case. But yeah, you see them basically. You see them walking from the apartment.
Okay. Good.
So, yeah.
I think
Fenna comes back.
I think the thought strikes Shiva when we're about at the St. Stephen's Green, and she says, "Fuck."
What's wrong?
Our fingerprints are going to be all over that apartment. And
do you have a criminal record?
No, but I don't exist.
Then that shouldn't be a problem, right?
If you don't have a criminal record, they will get a fingerprint that's unidentified.
Since she disappeared at a pretty young age, I don't suppose she would have had her fingerprint taken then.
Well, you only have your fingerprint taken if you have a criminal record.
Okay, no.
Oh no.
What's wrong?
Does Fenna have a criminal record?
They printed me when I came into the country.
Oh.
They do that.
Well, okay. Let's dump off the corpses, and then we go back immediately after that. We go over the place with a damp cloth or something.
I have to say that didn't happen to me when I moved to Ireland.
Okay, I just know they do it in some countries.
They do, but they
do it if you go to the States.
Yeah, but they don't. As long as
they do it if it's inside Europe.
Exactly.
Okay, then they probably didn't. Yeah. Okay.
Cool.
Only if you came from a non-Euro country to something that's not, so they have Taran's print. She doesn't know that yet.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
But she doesn't have a record, So
In that case, I'm assuming this isn't brought up.
Yeah.
Well, Shiva still brings
isn't.
it up, but that part probably.
Yeah, but
not.
that part isn't. That's just because, well, I had that feeling like I've been printed a lot of times, but that's because I go to Japan so damn much. Or have.
Fenna?
Yeah?
How about Connell?
Connell. I don't know. I don't know if he has a criminal record here.
He doesn't here, but he does back in Denmark.
All right. Well, I guess
He did kind of go missing, didn't he?
could we just going? Odd is kind of heavy. Sorry, Odd, but you are. Even in kindness.
I guess we just step back out in the green and leave our dead in the hands of the Sept. And we could return to what happened. Someone is messing with a rapper.
No.
Yes.
And then we can return and find out what we're going to do after this break. How does that sound?
Yes, that sounds fine.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, stick around. We'll be back with more Song of Tara.
Woohoo!
Really?